students of Abington. Various teachers have been recognized this week. Tonight we recognize two teachers. Kaya Muhammad would like to honor Oriane Green, high school science teacher. Kaya notes, you are not only a great teacher, but also a person to talk to at any time. The way you teach the material is fascinating. I can't help but pay attention. I appreciate how approachable you are. You make learning a complex topic easy to understand and fun. Next, we have Maria Wood. Maria Wood would like to honor Amy Madalena, high school history teacher. Maria said, I learned to face challenges head on, even when I don't think success is possible. I learned to trust what I was learning and I could handle the difficulty. Thank you for challenging me and helping me grow as a student. What you taught was more valuable than any reading or excerpt, and I will keep that with me for the rest of my life. Between the Green Wave of Abington and the Panthers of South Plymouth. Abington High School and all visiting teams are committed to maintaining the true spirit of competition and athletics. Please do your part by showing respect to every spectator, athlete, coach, and official involved in tonight's contest. And now for the starting lineups. For the Panthers, at guard, number 21, sophomore Kendra Fuller. At forward, number 20, junior Abby Diamond. At guard, number 3, junior captain Sarah Kenny. At guard, number 11, senior captain Paige Campbell. At forward, number 13, senior captain Matthew Beckler. South Plymouth is coached by Matt Delgado and assisted by Tim King. Now, starting for the Green Wave. At guard, number 34, sophomore Rebecca Riggs. At number 30 is sophomore Ella Billington. At guard, number 12, junior Sarah Devaney. At guard, number 20, junior Mary Klein. And at 14, senior captain Olivia McGuire. Abington is coached by Dan Norton and assisted by Jenny Morgan. Please stand for the playing of our national anthem.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, basketball fans of all ages, hello and welcome into the gymnasium here on the campus of Abington High School for tonight's MIAA Girls Varsity Basketball matchup. It is the Panthers of Plymouth South and your Abington Green Wave. As always, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson, joined alongside by Dr. James Madden. Doc, the Green Wave have already seen this Panthers team twice this season. They are 2-0 in those matchups, and they have been big victories. What do you think we can expect tonight?
Probably much of the same. The Green Wave last time, I believe, won by 20-ish points over Plymouth South. Both coaches, Dan Norton and Matt Delabarba, very familiar with each other. They actually run an AAU program based out of Braintree called MTE Ducks. So both coaches very close. That's why they scheduled these 3 games together against each other. And hopefully for the Green Wave, we can see what we've already seen this season. That's a pretty handily win.
Abby Diamond in to take the opening tip against Olivia McGuire and wins it back to number 3, Sarah Kenny. She's one of 3 co-captains. Paige Kunkel is also on the floor to start. She is a captain, as well as Ainsley McVarish. Corner 3 for Kendra Foley. It's good. Meanwhile, the Green Wave starters, Ella Williamson has the ball now. She's a sharpshooter. We think she might have a big game by virtue of her wardrobe choice tonight. The armband in effect for the first time this season for Miss Williamson. James, sometimes it's had a big effect.
It has. Last time these 2 teams faced off, I believe she hit 6 threes. And she's been one of the best players, not only on the Green Wave, but in the South Shore League. She's one of the top scorers in the South Shore League, only a sophomore. So hopefully we can see more of that tonight for the Green Wave.
Meanwhile, the other Green Wave starters, along with Williamson, is number 12, Sarah Devaney, number 14, Olivia McGuire, number 20, Mary Klein coming up with the steal there, and number 25, Rebecca Ricks. A hold called on Plymouth South. Head coach Matt Delabarba in his 4th season. Very, very passionate guy when he's roaming the sidelines.
And that energy really feeds off to his players. I mean, I've noticed only a minute into this game, the Plymouth South is very energetic, not only on the court but on the bench as well. All their players on the bench are into the game. And that's really what great energy from your coach can produce for your team.
Another steal for Mary Klein. She takes the contact. The Panthers come away with the ball. They're wearing their visiting black jerseys and shorts with teal trim around the white numbers and lettering. The Green Wave in their home white jerseys and shorts. Green outline around the white numbers and lettering. This is Kunkel bouncing it along the baseline to Diamond. And 2 doesn't go. McGuire with the rebound. She gives up to Williamson. Williamson hands off to Devaney, who goes across for Mary Klein. Williamson steps aside, takes the 3. It is off the mark, and it bounces off of the top of the backboard and out of play. Sarah Kenny running the point, the junior forward. And another steal for the Green Wave. Rick's coming up with this one. 3-2, Plymouth South leads it. 2 minutes into quarter number 1. Klein gets run into. The Panthers back the other way. Williamson called for the hit. Coach Norton doesn't like it. James, what'd you see?
It could have gone either way. It looked like Williamson got a lot of ball there, but as well, there was a lot of contact, and it really is just a judgment call at that point, and it's really what the ref sees from his angle. And Coach Norton obviously doesn't want Ella Williamson to pick up many fouls, her being one of the more productive, more efficient players in the league, and he wants to make sure she can stay out of foul trouble.
McGuire tips away the ball. Ricks picks it up, and now bringing it up court. We'll see the game's first substitution. Gianna Shore gets ready to come in as Klein hits the floater. The Green Wave have the lead for the first time this game, 4-3, 2.5 minutes in. Ainsley McVarish over. The ref was right on top of that, James. waiting to see whether Foley was going to step out of play or not. The air ball winds up over the end line. And in comes Gianna Shore. She replaces McVarish. The Hail Mary pass finds Williamson in stride. Williamson, underhanded layup, doesn't go. And it is Kenny going back the other way. Stepping on the end line was Shore. The Green Wave will take over with 5 minutes to go in the first. Full court player-to-player defense, James, for the Panthers as McGuire gets the offensive board and her putback attempt is good. And now another turnover is stepping in play with the inbound pass. Something you don't see all that often.
Yeah, and those types of turnovers is something Plymouth South really doesn't want to have. It is the unforced errors, and that's definitely an unfortunate sequence of events for Plymouth South. They give up a second chance point to Olivia McGuire, who's been easily one of the better rebounders in the South Shore League this season. And I remember last time out on Tuesday night against Randolph, she had 20 rebounds. So hopefully for the Green Wave, she can have a similar performance tonight and help guide them to victory.
Double effort for her. Williamson gets double teamed in the paint, keeps possession though, kicks it over to Ricks. Devaney takes the eventual jumper, it doesn't go. And the rebound is grabbed by Abby Diamond. Corner three for Kunkel doesn't go. Offensive board now to Foley. Her attempt doesn't go either, and out of play off of Kendra Foley with 4 minutes to go in the first. 6-3, Green Wave lead it. Ricks will inbound. A little bit of a half full court press there, James.
Yeah, they're kind of opening up in a little bit of full court pressure, but they're not putting that much pressure on the ball. So it's just kind of to change who brings the ball up for the Green Wave and who sets the tone offensively.
McGuire hits the spin around jumper. Foley on the rotation. Gives to Kunkel. Kunkel gets it back on the near side wing. Yard across back to Foley. 10 to shoot for the Panthers. Floater doesn't go. Klein with the rebound for Abington. Devaney resets just inside the half-court line. Finds Klein now with some space, and she takes the contact. The hit will be called on Paige Kunkel. Oh, they give it to Kenny instead. A lot of contact there on Klein's way into the paint.
And something to monitor, that's already captain number 3, Sarah Kenny's second foul. And Coach Del Barbo elects to keep her in at this point in the first quarter. And he trusts her to not pick up her third foul and put her into some severe foul trouble.
Williamson takes the contact. Klein takes the three. It's off the rim, no good. An offensive board. Able to get it there is Ricks. She kicks out to Devaney for the three. And it's in after a couple bounces off the metal. And now Klein comes up with the loose ball. Spinning, shooting, no good. It bounces out off of Abington. No, it bounces out off of Plymouth South. Timeout on the floor called by Plymouth South. 2:21 to go in the first. They've been cold since the opening three, James. The Green Wave lead it 10-3, just about 3/4 of the way through the first quarter.
And it's been pretty much a perfect start defensively for the Green Wave. Besides, obviously, the first possession, Plymouth South hit a three, and they haven't been able to have anything fall since then. and the Green Wave have opened up with 10 points, which is a good start for them offensively. The rebounding, they haven't really allowed many offensive rebounds and many second chances for Plymouth South, and that's thanks to Rebecca Ricks, Olivia McGuire, all cleaning up the glass and finding good opportunities on the other end of the floor. Mary Klein, Olivia McGuire, Sarah Devaney, all pitching in offensively to help get out to the 7-point lead early here in the first quarter.
Well, it's always good to have you back, James. But I do owe you an apology. During our last broadcast, the entire world learned that you have never had Linwood Cafe. Now, folks, that's going to change tomorrow night when the Green Wave boys team is in Randolph, right down the street from Linwood Cafe. But you were approached by an unnamed individual before the game who was just in absolute disbelief. So, folks, relax. Doc is going to have the best bar pizza in the entire world, not debatable, tomorrow night.
I will say we're going to have to wait a week because tomorrow night, unfortunately, it's next Friday that we play Randolph.
Oh, it's Fridays.
Yes,
in the Randolph?
a week from tomorrow. So next Friday, I'll definitely try and get to Linwood. Fingers crossed.
2.5-hour wait worth every minute. Ricks gives over to McGuire, who's leading the Green Wave in scoring to this point. Devaney steps inside, flips it to Klein for the three. It is off the line and out of play. Kunkel chased it out of play. Ten to 5 the score. Kunkel tosses it just behind Kenny, who has to double back for it. Now Kunkel takes the deep three. No good. The rebound to Olivia McGuire.
And the Green Wave defensively are showing a 2-3 zone, and that's Coach Norton trusting his team to help keep them out of the paint. That's where Plymouth South really likes to score. They don't really like to shoot the outside shot as much if they don't have to, and the Green Wave are trying to force them to shoot the outside shot tonight.
Klein, the pirouette pass over to Devaney. Her jumper didn't go. Now fully behind the back. Down low, it is Flynn. And her shot is blocked aside. The Green Wave with the rebound. 1 minute to go in quarter number one. 10 to 5 the score. Abington on top. Klein to the corner for McGuire. Floats it back in for Klein. Spinning, finding a lane nicely. The underhanded finger roll didn't go.
And that was a nice strong move by Mary Klein. Going up with the pump fake, creating separation, getting a good look. Unfortunately for her, it couldn't fall.
Klein tipping the ball out to Devaney, who gave it to Williamson. Her shot was unsuccessful. And the Panthers back the other way. Half-second difference between shot clock and game clock. The three attempted by Foley. The Panthers able to keep it in. And eventually Ricks comes away with the steal. Bounced over to Williamson for the three. Rims out. And it's out of play. The clock stops with 8 seconds to go. Sydney Brundage is going to come in for the Green Wave. .8 seconds to go. We'll see if Plymouth South can do anything with it. Kenny with it, gives to Kunkel for the deep three. It is airballed out of play as the buzzer sounds. That is how the first quarter will come to an end. James, a little bit of a slow start for both teams. It's 10-5 Abington at the end of the first frame.
And for the first 5 or 6 minutes, the Green Wave had a great pace offensively, scoring 10 points in the first, I think it was 5 minutes. But after the following Plymouth South's timeout, they closed the quarter out on a bit of a cold streak, found some quality looks. Shots just haven't been falling for them so far tonight. Defensively, almost picture-perfect start for them. Hopefully they can continue the defensive pressure, forcing turnovers, forcing tough looks for Plymouth South, and extend this lead here in the second quarter.
Well, it has been a crazy day, to say the least, in the basketball world. Deadline day. Love it or hate it, the Celtics made some moves. They've got a lot of open roster space, a lot of cap space. We'll get into the full thoughts, but of course the trade of the day. Mr. Harden winds up going down 95 towards Philadelphia. Ben Simmons finally gets shipped out of Philly. It was only a matter of when, not if. He winds up in Brooklyn. So we'll recap all the pieces involved with that, but the big three in Brooklyn, or 2.5 if you're counting home games.
Fair enough.
It's Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. Meanwhile in Philly, Harden playing with Joel Embiid. We'll see how that tandem matches up with each other. The three, no good for McGuire. The Panthers come away with the rebound. Shore's layup attempt blocked. She gets her own rebound and puts it up and in. One possession game. The pass over Ella Williamson's head out of play. Now McGuire comes up with the pass that had too much heat on it for Flynn. Williamson gives to Ricks, now to McGuire at the charity stripe. Devaney hands back to Ricks, who two hands it to Sydney Brundage. She flips it in for Devaney. Now Ricks will take the short jumper. It doesn't go. The rebound brought down by Kiera Flynn. Williamson comes up with a steal. Bad angle, and it's over the rim and out of play. The Green Wave will retain possession.
This is definitely not the start Coach Norton and the Green Wave really had hoped for. Defensively, they've been fine. They gave up the early putback by the Plymouth South, and other than that, they haven't really been able to get anything going offensively for the past 4 minutes or so of game time. Hopefully, you know, they've had some quality looks. Hopefully shots start falling and the Green Wave can start putting up some more points on the board.
Williamson's corner three didn't go, and Kenny's corner three didn't go for the Panthers. The Green Wave take possession once more. Well, the foul called on Ainsley McVarish. Klein's going to come back in. She got a little cut on her upper arm. Quickly patched up by trainer Alicia Reed. She gets the inbound pass from Ricks. Brundage takes the rainbow three from the corner. It doesn't go. And the Panthers chase it out of play. 6:27 to go in the second quarter. So I'm still in a little bit of a hockey mode from last night. Williamson comes up with her third steal of the night. Now spinning towards the paint, finding a lane a little bit too much off of the corner of the glass. It didn't get over the rim. Corner three, no good. One of those wonky bounces that looked like it might have gone in, but it came up short.
Yeah, from my angle, it looked like it went in, and then I saw it rolling around the ground, so I was confused how she could have pulled that one off, but.
Brundage gets blocked by Flynn. Back in comes Foley. She replaces Shore. Klein gets taken down, and block is called on Kendra Foley. Her first personal foul.
That's been big for the Green Wave. Mary Klein is one of those players that's really gritty on both ends of the floor. She's not afraid to go through contact. She's a tough player. She's aggressive. And that's why Coach Norton and the Green Wave staff love having her on the team. And luckily they'll have her again next year. She's only a junior, and she has a lot of room to improve and help lead this team next year as well.
Elizabeth Campbell comes in for Brundage as Klein goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe to bring it back to a two-possession game for the Green Wave. 12-7, 5:45 to go in the second quarter. The three in and out for Kunkel. Klein in for McGuire, who floats it up off the back of the rim and out. The Panthers come away with the rebound as McGuire a little bit slow to get up. Keep an eye on that. The three attempted by Kenny doesn't go. McGuire with the rebound. Ricks takes the three. Off the back of the rim and out once again. Corner three for Foley, doesn't go. We won't get into the percentage, James, from the field. Green Wave lead at 12-7. Almost halfway. Williamson finds a lane in, and someone might have shrunk the rims tonight, James.
I was just about to say that that's kind of been how her night's going. Normally, she's able to not only those, but she's able to knock.
It's not just Williamson. It's kind of everybody.
Yeah, but especially her. She's usually able to knock down the outside shots. She's having a tough night, but the only way she can really get through this is keep shooting. Because once she finds a rhythm, she's hard to guard, and hopefully for the Green Wave she can find a rhythm.
Especially with the armband. I'm hoping we didn't jinx her. Klein gets fouled on her way in.
She might have to do the halftime switch-up.
Oh, the halftime switch-up is notorious for lighting a fire. In whatever we've seen changes of shoes at halftime. We've seen armbands, headbands.
We talked about it Monday night, like Mike, when he changed his shoes.
Like Mike, he changed his shoes. Big win here in the gym last night for the boys team as they defeated the Buccaneers of Bedford.
They had a good squad. They're Division II, I believe ranked 24th. So it was a tough one. They were very fundamentally sound. They didn't turn the ball over much. They were able to shoot the outside shot as well. So it was a tough one for the Green Wave, but pulled out a 3-point victory, 69-66.
Williamson looking fast break. She'll go in for the layup off the glass. It doesn't go. And the rebound is gathered in by Kiera Flynn. McGuire taps it out of play. The Panthers will have 17 to shoot. We're halfway through the second. It is 13-10. The Green Wave lead. Timeout on the floor called by Plymouth South. So, James, let's talk about that Brooklyn and Philly trade. James Harden to Philly, Ben Simmons to Brooklyn. Those are the two main pieces.
I'm torn on the trade. I do like the trade for Brooklyn, though I'm not a big believer in Ben Simmons. I kind of think he's overrated, but
I think that he just hasn't proved himself on a consistent basis.
I do agree, and it's tough because a lot of times in the current day basketball, point guards, need to shoot the outside shot, and obviously he's not the best outside shooter.
Yes,
but he just has a different prototype. He's not the prototypical point guard, so I wish them both the best. It's definitely a trade that both players needed. Ben Simmons wasn't happy where he was. James Harden wasn't happy where he was. So the trade's gonna make both parties happy. And I do think Brooklyn did win the trade. They got Seth Curry as well. And who else did they get? I can't remember the third player, but they also got 2 first-round picks as well in the deal. And Philadelphia only got James Harden as well as Paul Millsap.
Floater off the inbound pass doesn't go. The Panthers will retain possession, a fresh 30-second clock. Meanwhile, for Brad Stevens, full disclosure, I'm not a Brad Stevens fan. I haven't been since about midway through his first year as coach of the Celtics, when he proved that he could not coach veterans. Williamson slows things up here with 3.5 to go, but among other things, Dennis Schroeder is shipped off to San Antonio.
Houston, I believe.
Houston.
They got back former Celtic. He's coming home, Daniel Tice.
Daniel Tice. Yes, the obsession with Daniel Tice.
They also sent Bruno Fernando and Aeneas Freedom. I always want to call him Aeneas Cantor, but it's now legally Aeneas Freedom.
I thought it was Cantor dash Freedom.
I think
Did he drop the Freedom completely?
I think he made Cantor his middle name, so his full name is Aeneas Cantor Freedom, but it only says Freedom on the back of his jersey.
The short jumper is good for Caitlin Maloney. That brings us to a 1-point game. Ricks is going to come back in for Abington.
And you can tell by the energy how much Plymouth South wants this win. They've already lost to Abington twice this season, so losing to a team for the third time definitely won't sit right with them. And it's kind of a revenge game coming up here to Abington. They played them earlier this year at Plymouth South. The Green Wave won as well as here earlier this season. So, like always, they're a very energetic group. Their coach's positive energy and their coach's enthusiasm, Matt Delabarba, feeds off to them, and they really want this win tonight.
Brundage tips the ball loose but out of play. Athletic play by Brundage. Three for Foley, doesn't go. The rebound brought down by Devaney. Now Foley crisscrossing, trying to get around Klein. She'll have to turn back. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, 13-12. Abington up by 1. Romeo Langford, he was shipped out.
I was sad to see that. I was always a huge Romeo Langford believer. I just never thought he got the right opportunity, given the star power on their team. But I would love to see him succeed. I've always been a huge fan of him. So,
you want to talk about a guy who was not given the opportunity. His number should be in the rafters for the Celtics. Bol.
Oh, he's already a Celtic legend. He never stepped foot on TD Garden floor as a Celtic, but I'll miss Bol's presence. He's better off in Orlando, though. He was never really going to get much playing time here, so once he's fully healthy, he'll be able to play a lot more and have more of a role on the Magic roster.
One to shoot, the three, off the glass and rim. That will negate the shot clock. Williamson comes flying in for the rebound and then gets fouled.
And that was a strong rebound by Ella Williamson. She went through traffic. It was a long rebound followed by Sarah Devaney's three-point attempt at the buzzer, and she was able to get to the line for 2 shots.
My issues with Brad Stevens. Well, first of all, tell me how you do not succeed at your job for 7 years and then get promoted. So that's first. But then there was this, it was almost an obsession, James, with forcing Semi Ojale into the lineup.
He was a huge Semi fan.
Daniel Tice. And for whatever god-awful reason, he's letting Marcus Smart attempt threes.
I do love, I don't know if you remember this, but when he broke the single-game three-point record with the Celtics.
People are calling him the next Steph Curry. Slow your roll. He's about 15% beyond the arc.
I'm a big Marcus Smart fan on defense. Just when I do like him as a playmaker, but when he starts shooting the ball.
That's where it gets ugly.
Exactly.
Well, lest we forget about Al Horford. Brad Stevens loves Al Horford.
He does, and I liked him maybe 6 years ago when he was an all-star with Atlanta, but now it's just 36-year-old Al Horford isn't really cutting it anymore.
I do appreciate that when they moved here within 1 year of that first trade, they fell in love with the city of Boston. It's an easy thing to do.
Exactly. And his wife, Anna Horford, she's really big in the Boston community. I follow her on Twitter. She's always on Twitter talking to the fans about games, talking about Al, talking about all the other players. And it's great to see, families of players in cities, not only Boston, just cities around the country, engage with the fans, and it really makes players fan favorites.
20 seconds to go in the first half. 15-12 Abington leads. The shot clock is off. McGuire off the glass and in. She leads the Green Wave in scoring thus far. 3 seconds to go now, 2 and 1. The three will deflect off of the front of the rim, and the Green Wave will take a 5-point lead into the break, 17-12. James, a slow start.
And it's not even due to the fact that the Green Wave haven't really found quality looks. They found some great looks, and hopefully in the second half, the Green Wave are able to start having shots fall. I know Ella Williamson, she hasn't had the night she'd hoped for, but hopefully she can have some shots start to fall. And if she has some shots start to fall, Plymouth South is in deep trouble, because once she can find a rhythm, she's easily one of the hardest players to guard here in the South Shore League. And Olivia McGuire, she's had a tremendous night so far for the Green Wave, doing what she always does, and that's rebound the ball. Late in the first half, she had a nice layup with her soft touch to get the Green Wave lead back up to 5. And hopefully the Green Wave can start to push this lead away and take control of this game here in the second half.
17-12 at the break. Stay tuned. We're going to bring you the mini waves at halftime and bring you third quarter action immediately after that. 17-12, the Green Wave lead Plymouth South at the break. We'll be back after this.
At number 23, we have Lily Williamson. At number 11, we have Ella McSherry. At number 7, we have Emma Flanagan. At number 12, we have Olivia Scarfelli. At number 5, we have Reagan Ritter. At number 14, we have McKinley Houghton. At number 3, we have Izzy Berry. And at number 9, we have certainly but not least, Callie Phillips. They are coached by Sherry Hogan and Kate Williamson.
My track coaches are excellent. They're on top of it. No way. We had a veteran move right there. Yes, definitely. We had another heavy hitters.
Get back, Tree, get back. Tree, get back.
Tony's down with him. Just get it on.
Micah.
never seen him saying that.
White, run motion two.
Mike saying slay is like beyond. That is amazing. I guess we did that.
Play it, play it, play it, play it.
Are you the rich guy? What? That's what we thought.
Oh yeah, no one's.
Got Reagan.
Hello and welcome back into the gymnasium here on the campus of Abington High School for second half action. It's the Plymouth South Panthers and the Abington Green Wave. Once again, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson. He's Dr. James Madden. The 17-12 Abington lead coming into the third quarter. They are led by Olivia McGuire. She's got 6 points. Mary Klein has the ball now. She is second in scoring for the Green Wave tonight with 5. The arm sleeve remains on James for Ella Williamson, who takes the long two. It doesn't go. Out of play off of Plymouth South. The Green Wave will retain possession with 29 seconds remaining on their shot clock. Devaney gets it in the paint. Two Panthers collide with each other, and that allows Devaney to find a hole and lay it up and in.
And Rebecca Ricks stayed nice and composed there. She was getting close to the 5-second violation, but stayed calm and found the open look for Sarah Devaney down low.
Corner 3 for Zoe Woja into the game for her first minutes. Ricks with it now. Gives to Klein. Klein finds a lane, floats it. It was blocked out by the Panthers. The Green Wave will retain with 14 to shoot now. Williamson has some space, hawks up the 3 off the side of the backboard. And the Panthers come away with the loose ball. Klein steers it out of play. James, I think you might have jinxed the arm sleeve.
I think I did. I said before the game, she has the lucky arm sleeve on. I was expecting a big night, but so far she's been cold, and hopefully she can start to heat up and find a rhythm here in the second half.
Ricks spinning, lost the handles. Loose ball. Devaney strong, able to take it away. Klein gives to Devaney. The top of the key. Devaney finds a line in. The shot off of the bottom of the rim. The Panthers come away with the ball. So started to talk about trade deadline and some of the, in my opinion, horrible moves made by Brad Stevens. Klein gets tripped up. So James, let's talk a little bit about the college game, because that's your area of expertise. That's your bread and butter.
I like to think so, considering how much I watch and how much I follow the college game.
So first off, the last couple of years, what's up with Duke and Kentucky?
And they always have a lot of talent, especially this year. I love this Kentucky team this year because it's definitely different than John Calipari's normal teams. Normally he has a bunch of young freshmen who aren't as experienced in March. They usually play fine together, but come March really aren't able to pull out the big wins against the really talented teams down the stretch in March Madness. But the difference between this team is he really got all of his star power from the transfer portal, which was huge during the offseason this season. And one big thing that leads to success in college basketball is your ability to have 2 consistent guards, and they have that this season with Severe Wheeler and Ty Washington. So this is definitely one of the better teams I think Coach Calipari's coached in his time at Kentucky, and I love watching them play, and I think a lot of people in the college basketball world can expect a deep run from them.
Former Celtic coach Rick Pitino signing a lifetime deal at Iona.
And they love him over in New Rochelle, and rightfully so. I think obviously he's done some questionable things in the past, but easily, if not the best coach in college basketball, easily one of the best in the country. And I believe his team's around 19-3 or something. They're 14. I believe they're 10-1, in the MAC play this season. Their only loss was earlier this week to the Niagara Purple Eagles, who
gotta watch out for those Purple Eagles.
I love the Niagara Purple Eagles. Don't watch much of them, but they have a cool logo, so that's all they really got going for them, I guess. Never really have a great program, but he's doing great things. They beat a very talented Alabama team earlier this season in Orlando, Florida, at the ESPN Invitational. But he's definitely the talk of New Rochelle at Iona University. He's doing great things with the Gales.
Ricks takes the corner 3. It does not go. Offensive board. The putback attempt rims out. Now McGuire. No good. 21-15, about halfway through the third quarter. Coach K's last year.
And one thing I've noticed, and that's why I think Duke's chances are so big this season, is normally in the summer, Coach K has to travel around the country recruiting players for upcoming years, but since this is his last year, all the assistants have been going around the country recruiting, and he's had more time to focus on the team itself and the game itself. And with their development and their ability to play under Coach K and how comfortable they've been able to get with him and just their star power on their team, I think they have a very good shot at winning it all in March this season.
There's always two teams that I never bet against in March. As McGuire hits the jumper and one. Duke and any team coached by Izzo.
March Izzo's a different breed. He really is. Same with, we see it every year. They always struggle to get into the tournament. Syracuse with Jim Boeheim. They're usually an 11 or a 10 seed. But once they get into the tournament, for some reason they can't lose. And it doesn't look like they're going to get into the tournament with an at-large bid this season, so they'll have to win the ACC tournament. They're like those Loyola Marymount teams of the 90s. They put up 90 points but give up 100. So really defensively, and Jim Boeheim, he swears by the zone defense, and it's not really working out this season, but he's coached zone defenses for the past 30, 40 years. So he's going to stick to his agenda and his identity, and hopefully it works out for Syracuse this season, but so far it hasn't.
Great play by Williamson on the far side to toss it out of play off of Kunkel. Speaking of Loyola, how's Sister Jean doing? Have we heard from Sister Jean lately?
I think she's doing well. I haven't heard about any bad news about her, so in that type of case, no news is good news. So Loyola Chicago's having another great season. They have a new coach, Drew Valentine, but their old coach, Porter Moser, is down at Oklahoma now, but they're having another great team. They just fell out of the rankings last week, but the Ramblers are having a hot season. I believe they're 19-4 in the Missouri Valley Conference, one of the top dogs there, like always, and great things are going on in Chicago with the Ramblers.
23-15, and Green Wave lead it. Klein bringing it up for Abington.
And it looks like number 23 on Plymouth South, Kira Flynn, is playing with no mask, so looks like hers broke on the last offensive possession for Plymouth South.
There's a whole army of Panthers on the sideline ready to give her a new mask. Rick's at the line.
And that's the fourth foul on captain number 3, Sarah Kenny, for Plymouth South, so most likely sidelining her for the rest of the third quarter and the majority of the fourth quarter, depending on the tempo of the game and if they'll need one of their better players to go back in for Plymouth South. But it looks like Coach Matt Delbarba elects to keep her in with 4 fouls, which is an interesting decision, but he trusts his junior captain, Sarah Kenny.
McGuire gets the putback. 25-15, the lead is at 10. Three doesn't go. Out of play off of the Green Wave now. 2:18 to go in the third quarter. Kunkel will inbound. Brundage and Devaney in. I believe that is Sarah Matos wearing number 3. She's normally wearing number 1. Williamson sets the pick for Ricks, who goes off the glass and in. Devaney lays it up and in. Timeout on the floor called by Plymouth South. 1:25 to go in the third. It's a 14-point lead for the Green Wave, 29-15. You know, the part of the college game not a lot of people are talking about. Division III. First of all, Division III athletics in college. They're wildly entertaining.
And that's something I've always believed. I remember I always loved to watch I don't know if you know what the basketball tournament they have it every July. And there's always a team every year that's a bunch of Division III alumni that play overseas and pro basketball, and they're heavily slept on. Division III basketball players, not only basketball players, Division III athletes are very talented. I mean, we've seen some Division III basketball players the past couple years for Abington, Bryson Andrews and Matt McGuire. Both Bryson playing at Nichols College over in Dudley, Massachusetts, and Matt McGuire playing at WPI now in Worcester. So 2 very talented players for the Green Wave for 4 years, and now they play at Division III, and I must agree, Division III players don't get the love they deserve.
So WPI is currently, they released the non-numbered alphabetical regional rankings for the first time this season for Division III for the March Madness. And Worcester Polytechnic Institute, where Matt McGuire is now playing, is in a division with number 25 ranked UMass Dartmouth. Now, part of the reason I say college basketball is wildly entertaining is that one of the players for UMass Dartmouth, Marcus Azor, former Brockton boxer right over the border here, is the only player in all of college basketball, Division I, Division II, Division III, don't matter. He's the only one with 4 triple-doubles on the year. 4 of them. Nobody else has more than 2.
You said he went to Brockton High, right?
Brockton High. He's also leading the nation across all divisions in assists per game with about 8.5.
I remember I saw that he is when he got his 3rd.
Williamson finally gets one to go. Count it in, 1.
It's when he got his 3rd triple-double, and I remember I wasn't really too familiar with Division III basketball. I remember I looked at UMass Dartmouth's record, and I think they were 18-2 or something at the time, and I was like, wow, UMass Dartmouth is legit. And like you said, getting into the rankings earlier this week, which I'm sure you were very happy about.
Yes. Full disclosure, I also call games for the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth. And I talked a lot of game on Twitter. It took a lot of outside pressure to get that number in there. And they're still being disrespected by people.
And you said they
beat 2 top 15 teams.
I was about to say, you said they beat Wesleyan, right? And then people had Wesleyan in over UMass Dartmouth.
Wesleyan was only 2 points in the rankings out of number 25 over UMass Dartmouth. Dartmouth beat them quite handily. Klein in fast break, lays it up and in. The Green Wave pulling away now. 20 seconds to go in the third. They are doubling up the Panthers, 34-17.
And I said it earlier tonight, but Mary Klein is definitely one of the most important players on this Green Wave team. And as we see her get another steal.
And she fast break again, slows up, finds a hole, doesn't go. Gets her own rebound and puts that one in.
And we've seen it all night. We've seen it all season long. She's a pesky defender. She's like a pest on defense, and she's able to find really any errant passes, any loose balls, and turn it into a fast break. We saw it back-to-back defensive possessions there for the Green Wave, and really helping the Green Wave pull ahead in this one, get up to a 19-point lead, 36-17.
Timeout called by Plymouth South with 1.8 seconds on the clock in the third. I'll have 2 games down at the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth on Super Bowl Sunday. I agreed to call those with the caveat that if Mac Jones and the Patriots should make the big game, that those games would suddenly disappear. We don't have to worry about that.
Who are they playing Sunday night?
They are playing the Plymouth State University Panthers.
That's why you mixed it up with Plymouth South.
That is.
Both the Panthers.
All
both Plymouth.
night.
You can't get away from Plymouth.
Plymouth
And
State
the Panthers.
University Panthers. They have a very good hockey team. We saw them last week, last Saturday. And Washington Capitals head coach Peter Laviolette, his son, by the same name, is the third line left wing on the Plymouth State Panthers team.
Is he? Small world.
Small, very small. I saw his name in, last year. Well, the first time I saw him on the roster, I said, "Geez, this name looks familiar." Nashville was being coached by Peter Laviolette Sr. at that time, and I just remember saying to myself that if Nashville doesn't start to pick it up, one of the hometowns on this roster is going to change. 2 weeks later, the Predators fired Peter Laviolette Sr. So fast forward to last Saturday, and I'm looking down the roster as I always do before the game, and Peter Laviolette Jr. still lists his hometown as Nashville, Tennessee, not Washington, D.C.
Nashville's a great city. Maybe he didn't want to leave.
Nashville, it's surprisingly a great hockey city.
It is. They love the Predators down there. And the Predators, luckily, have been good the past couple of years. And they're really good this year. I don't know if they're at the top, but one of the top teams in the Central Division. So,
fourth quarter underway. The Green Wave lead at 36-17. They opened it up the last couple of minutes here in the third, led by Mary Klein, who gets another rebound there.
And it was a pretty much perfect performance in the third quarter for the Green Wave. They outscored Plymouth South 19-5. And really, this is what we kind of expected going into this. Plymouth South kept it close, but the Green Wave won pretty handily both times they've played this season. And looks like, unless Plymouth South can go on a big run, it looks like the Green Wave will once again defend the home floor. But the Green Wave really need to close this one out and not really give Plymouth South a chance to get back in this one.
Good passing, but Kira Flynn can't get it to go. Brundage flings it out to Klein. Now it's Devaney at the top of the key, working against Kenny. Williamson takes the three from the top. It rims out. Ooh, possession is called. The Green Wave will retain. They will have 29 seconds to shoot. Yeah, this one's going to be tough for me on Sunday because I guarantee I'm going to call Plymouth State University. They're in Plymouth, New Hampshire. I bet I say Plymouth South more than once.
Might have to tune in, see if you do call Plymouth South. What time are the games at?
They're at 12:30 and 2:30, I believe.
And
it might be 1 and 3. I'll have to double check that.
Feels like an interview, but I'm kind of firing off questions. And is it the men's and women's games?
Yes. Women's first. The men tip off. I want to say it's at 2:30 is the men's tip. They just beat Keene State University for the second time this season. Keene State's on the bubble in Division III as well. They're just on the outside of the rankings. But that is something that me personally I'm very much looking forward to. UMass Dartmouth is, if they keep on the current trajectory, that's the key here. If they win the games that they should, which is all of them at this point, they will end up hosting a March Madness game, which I'll get to call.
I'm hoping if they do end up hosting, I'm able to get down there for one.
Brundage hits the corner three. That further extends the Green Wave lead that now stands at 21 points. The math wheels took a little while to get going again there. And it might be against Worcester Polytechnic Institute,
That would be a fun one.
where Matt McGuire plays.
Green Wave alumni. I believe, is he second all-time leading scorer?
He is. He's right behind Bryson Andrews. I say there should be an asterisk up there because he was robbed of his at least half of his senior year by COVID. It's
Exactly.
normally a 20-game season plus playoffs. There were 10 games scheduled with no playoffs. And he ended up missing a couple games. He only came up like 50 or 60 points shot.
And given how talented that team was last season, it was very likely that they would have made a deep playoff run as well. I don't want to make assumptions, but they were very capable of going to the Final Four or the state final. Once again, giving him more games and more opportunities to extend his points total in his career. But nonetheless, a very successful Green Wave career for Matt McGuire.
Brundage, another corner three.
Back-to-back outside shots from pretty much the same spot on the floor.
That's what I call stepping up in the time where it's needed most when your hot hand, Ella Williamson's a little bit cold. Brundage stepping up, now flings it across to Ricks. McGuire down low for Brundage, back to McGuire. Brundage thought about another corner three. It rolls off of Ricks and a foul called. Campbell comes back in. She will replace Devaney. Yes, but that March Madness game would be that first Saturday in March. I think it's the 5th. The 5th or the 6th.
Sounds about right.
Somewhere in there. Klein comes up with another steal for Abington, who have this game put away. 41-17 is the score. Brundage takes the tray. This one doesn't go.
Heat check.
Speaking of UMass Dartmouth, baseball season down there, especially next year, should be interesting. They have a commitment from one Aiden O'Donnell to play down there.
Abington's own. He was tremendous last season.
One of the nastiest 12-6 curveballs I've seen, especially in high school.
And he was great last year. Hopefully, I'd assume he's going to be great again this year for them. One of the better pitchers in the South Shore League, and hopefully can help lead them to a deep run. Like last year when they went all the way to the state final game at Springfield College.
They should have phenomenal starting pitching between O'Donnell, Johnny Sellen, some other guy.
Trying to stay unbiased, but don't like to get into it. I don't want to.
Listen, that West Bridgewater playoff game last year, he put the team on his back. We were, of course, talking about your twin.
Yeah. I do this better than he does, so I got that going for me. But he did all right last season.
The fashion sense is
man.
phenomenal. He's got the giant sombrero, gets the Hawaiian shirt going.
And my parents and I, we always joked we wanted him to come out of a shell, and now
he's out now.
Now we want him to go back into a shell.
Yeah,
so
he's out of the shell now.
I'd say so, but he had a all right season. His team around him really helped him. I remember the West Bridgewater game. Aiden O'Donnell had some really big at bats to put some runs on the board for the Green Wave in a game that was definitely back and forth. A really fun game. Probably the highest intensity game there was, really, during that playoff run. 4-3 win over a very fundamentally sound West Bridgewater team, and it was a lot of fun.
The Panthers will retain the ball here. 3:15 to go in the fourth. Three minutes to go, fourth quarter. The Green Wave up handily, 43-19. That puts the lead at 24. Make it 26 if the math is working. That was Sarah Flanagan, I believe, on that jumper. Three off the line for Flynn. Flanagan catches it in stride. Now Campbell across to Matos. Matos hands back to Flanagan. Brundage takes the three. Off the glass, off the metal, and out. Matos called for the hold. Mackenzie Litzenberger comes in, replacing the player that I've got for the player of the game, James, and that would be Olivia McGuire. A lot of rebounds, a lot of points, and that really kept the Green Wave ahead when this game was close and extended and broke open the lead when push came to shove at the closing moments of the third quarter.
And I would have to agree with you. And we've seen kind of a similar theme all season. She's had many games this season where she could be the player of the game, and especially Tuesday night, she had a tremendous game against Randolph, 15 points, 20 rebounds. And I'm not sure what her exact stat line was tonight, but another tremendous game for the senior captain, Olivia McGuire, who's had a tremendous season for the Green Wave. And hopefully for her and the Green Wave, she can continue this tear both defensively with her shot blocking and her rim protection, as well as rebounding and being one of their leading scorers all season.
I bet she's got a double-double at the very least tonight. The shot doesn't go for Flynn. Rebound loose. Dual possession called. Lacey Brundage is going to come in now.
The young freshman comes in for her sister.
The young senior.
Senior captain, too.
Kenny, that was number 5, Lauren Jones, on the rotation. Now 45-21, 90 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Matos working her way, now gives to Flanagan, and she got held up on her way in. The foul is called on number 15 for Plymouth, Caitlin Maloney. Flanagan at the line for 2. Litzenberger grabs the rebound over everybody, gives back out to Flanagan, long 2. It's good. Green Wave ultimately will go 3-0 against the Panthers this season. This the final scheduled matchup between these two teams. 38 seconds to go here in the fourth. 47-23. The lead is 24 for the Green Wave. Who, by all means, James, didn't have their best night shooting, but they made up for it on the defensive side of the floor.
Exactly. The first half was really it was a slow start for the Green Wave, and they really struggled to have shots fall, but once they were able to come out of that slump and really pull away in the third quarter, they were able to jump up to a big lead, and it was smooth sailing from there. Defensively, it was almost perfect for them, only allowing 23 points, which is more than Coach Norton could ask for, and they're able to pull out with this victory. Right now, 49-23, 26-point game, but the Green Wave were tremendous defensively, and they have been all season, and they have a big one coming up. I believe they're playing West Bridgewater next Tuesday, who they previously lost to earlier this season, so a bit of a revenge game here against West Bridgewater.
Busy week next week on the networks of Abington Community Access and Media for the Green Wave Athletic Department. There is basketball, boys and girls. There is hockey. There is 6 straight nights of action. Some of those are all on the road. The buzzer sounds. This one has come to an end. 49-23, the Green Wave are victorious. 26 points is your final margin of victory, James. As we discussed, I think, no question, Olivia McGuire, the player of the game.
Exactly. She was tremendous all night, and she's been all season for the Green Wave, one of their key parts to their success, and really doing it all for the Green Wave. She plays great defense. She was one of the leading scorers for the Green Wave, if not the leading scorer, as well as, like always, most likely the leading rebounder, and she really uses her 5'11", 6-foot frame to protect the rim, reach over opposing players and grab the rebounds, and ultimately score second chance, third chance points and help guide the Green Wave to victory.
49-23, the final from the gym here. The Green Wave defeating the Panthers of Plymouth South High School. I want to thank you for watching this production of Abington Community Access and Media. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Dr. James Madden, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson. We will see you next game.